Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, on behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to thank everybody for getting here today. I know that some of you said quite a distance to travel, so thanks for that. In my experience, the best way to make and stay awake during a speech is to actually give it. I've not got that much experience of it, so I'll do my best not to bore you with how happy I am today. But doesn't my daughter look beautiful?
Yeah.
Now, she's had a hard week this week, Cheryl, leading up to the wedding. Not many people will know this, but she's actually had her credit card stolen last week. Now, Chris is not reporting to the police. Because whoever nicked it is actually spending a lot less on charity. And at this point, I'd like to formally welcome Chris into our family. And I hope he is equally pleased to become a member of the Club. Now, the best man will no doubt have a few words of endearment for Chris, so I'll just say a few words to give you some insight into today's lovely bride. When Charlotte was very young, she struggled with some words, as I think all children do. Cheryl's teddy bear was Trevier. Her breakfast cereal was Plet. But the one thing that was most difficult to dissuade her from saying was what she called her knife and fork. Now sometimes it was very difficult not to laugh when Charlotte said, "Where's my fork and knife?" And I remember once when Charlotte was a little older, she told me her wedding was going to be like a fairy tale story. I do remember that it involved a prince, a castle, and a white horse. I do remember that when Cheryl first told me she was hiring this place, it all came back to me. I know that Cheryl looks on her prince, and this is a beautiful castle. Where that white horse comes in, perhaps it's a surprise later on. Or maybe, as we're living in a modern world and things have changed, rather than the prince and his bride riding up from the castle on a white horse, they fly off to their honeymoon in a giant jumbo jet. It does show the determination and the drive that Cheryl possesses, that with the help of her prince, she has gotten this close to that fairy tale. I think that from her first day at primary school, Cheryl was always loved school, and you could easily tell from school reports and from parents' evening that most of the teachers felt the same way about Cheryl. One teacher wrote, and I'll quote, "Cheryl is a pleasure to teach." And I know from a teacher that's a friend of mine that that is the ultimate accolade for a student and a teacher. So it was no surprise that when Cheryl arrived in her teenage years, I would often see a line of 5 or 6 younger kids out the back, sat on the patio, with Cheryl strutting up and down, explaining the rules of a new game that she was about to teach them. I guess Cheryl enjoyed school so much that when in 2 years' time she has completed her art degree and teacher training, she will be starting a career which may see her staying at school until she retires. Most probably as a headmistress. Now, art has always been an important part of Cheryl's life. And for a time, it seemed to me that maybe that was the direction she was taking. And by that I mean that she would become an artist. I have quite a few of Cheryl's works, mainly some drawings and some paintings. And I would recommend that if you are looking for a painting in the future, although obviously Cheryl's quite busy just now, for the next couple of months, getting Cheryl to do it may actually turn out to be an excellent investment. I've always known that Cheryl's a beautiful woman, but I have never seen her looking so beautiful and radiant as she does today, and I am really proud of you, Cheryl. And at this point, I'd like to offer some advice to Chris and Cheryl as they enter married life together, and it is to live each day as if it was your last, and to spend each night as if it was your first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for sharing this special day with us, and I ask you to stand and raise your glasses to the bride and groom. To the luckiest man in the world and his beautiful wife, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Chris and Cheryl.
different